could be. But me, you're me, Louie T. Welcome to Lockdown Coverage week number 14. National Football League. Detroit Lions taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lions were supposed to have it easy down the stretch. After their Thanksgiving tilt versus the Minnesota Vikings, things were supposed to lighten up for the Lions. They were supposed to go to Baltimore and win. They were supposed to go to Tampa and win. They were supposed to come home and beat the Bears. They were supposed to be able to beat all of the lesser teams on their schedule, like Cincinnati and whoever else was left. They were supposed to have a great shot at getting to 11-5. Well, so much for that last week. Giving up 44 on the road and getting spanked at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. And almost throwing away another one on the road against a team that you probably should be able to handle in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Something's off with this Lions football team. I can't quite put my finger on it, but they got the W. And as we all know, doesn't have to be pretty, just needs to be gritty and a dub. And they got that, 24-21. That being said, this was a very interesting game. Not fascinating. Wasn't the best game to watch of the weekend. It was interesting. One of the most interesting. Here's why. 8 turnovers. Total. 6 in the first half. 3 by each team. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? I expect that nonsense from the Buccaneers with Jameis Winston, who sometimes doesn't realize that, hey, it's okay to throw it away. It's okay to take a sack. But it's not okay to throw it to the opposite color jersey. That's not okay. That's Doug Martin fumbling the football. That's not out of the realm of possibility. But Matthew Stafford throwing interceptions left and right. Them putting it on the ground too? Huh. You don't say. In any event, when it was all said and done, the Bucs would turn it over 5 times, and the Lions would turn it over 3 times. And despite turning it over 5 times, the Bucs had a shot to win this game. And in typical Bucs fashion, they pissed it away and lost the game. We'll get to the particulars for the Buccaneers. Let's talk about the Lions, though, as they get back over 500 with this win at 7-6 with the 24-21 victory over the Bucs on the road. Again, not pretty, gritty, and a W, which, again, it's effective. That's all you care about. I thought that despite the hand injury, Matthew Stafford actually looked sharp in this game. Now, he did throw 2 picks. One of those picks, the other one, The Brent Grimes pick, that's a hell of a play by Brent Grimes. And sometimes I think people underestimate just how good Brent Grimes is and how much he can jump. All right, the guy can leap. He's got springs. All right, and he got up and he snatched that football away on that one of those picks. But he threw for over 300 yards in this game, did Matthew Stafford. And remember, he came into this game with a severely bruised hand that we were going to be monitoring, and we were going to watch and see how he played. I thought Theo Riddick ran the football well offensively. And again, the Bucs don't stop the run. They don't stop anything, for that matter, defensively very well. The turnovers is what kept them in this game. And you helped with that, with these turnovers and the fumbles and things of that nature. Theo Riddick ran it well. Stafford threw it well. You've got a full complement of receivers now. Okay, Galladay is back. Marvin Jones Jr. is out there. Golden Tate. And now Eric Ebron, Easy E, starting to become a bigger part of this offense again. Even though this is probably his last year in Detroit, he's starting to become a big fixture of this offense again. And Stafford's got enough guys to spread it around to. There's no excuse for you to be struggling with Tampa Bay like this. Got to eliminate the mistakes, especially on the road. You should have scored 35 points in this game and ran this game, and won this game running away. Ran them into the ground. but you didn't. You allowed them to hang around, and they could have stole this game. If they were a good team, if they were a half-decent team, they would have stole this game from you. But they're not. They're a bad team. So you were able to come back and put this game away late. But I can't quite put my finger on it. What's wrong with this team? But there's something wrong. And you know what's crazy? I heard that Jim Caldwell is coaching for his job in these final, 4 weeks of the season, now 3. I'm like, you just gave a man an extension. What are you talking about? It's not like the Lions got off to a 7-1 start and now here they are 7-6 on the season. They've dealt with injuries. They're still a young football team. What are you talking about? I don't know. Anyway, defensively, boy, were you opportunistic in this game or what? You stripped the football away from their tight end, O.J. Howard, after it looks like it's incomplete, but you still play through the whistle. Take it from him after he's taken like 4 or 5 steps. Knock it out of his hand, rip it out, pick it up. You strip the football. This is a great play by Glover Quinn to strip the football away from Doug Martin on a 3rd and 1 where you just come and bolo punch it out. Give me that. Give me your cookies. Yum, yum, eat them up. Yum, yum, eat. Give me them cookies, boy. Great play by Darius Slay on the sidelines to pick off Jameis Winston on a pick where he slides down and make sure he gets a knee in bounds. Beautiful. Ran a route for Deshaun Jackson. Thanks. I'll take that. Picked off Winston, I think 3 times on the day, 2 or 3 times on the day. This defense was opportunistic in this game. They weren't the greatest, but they were opportunistic, and that helped them come away with a victory. Because the Bucs were moving the football. But there always was a mistake lurking around the corner, and you were able to take advantage. When that ball hit the carpet, fumble, you were able to recover. When Jameis Winston made an ill-advised decision, throw, you were able to pick it off. You made the plays in this game that helped you come away with the victory defensively. Again, wasn't pretty, but it was enough to win. On the Bucs side of things, another game where your offensive leader at the receiver position isn't named Deshaun Jackson or Mike Evans. Answer me why that is. Again, I forget. Why are they not having more success? I forget. Now, we knew that it was going to be a little bit of a process, getting everybody acclimated onto the same page, but it's getting kind of old now. It's getting tired, okay? They're your best. And in this league, the way you win is by getting the best of football. You want to know why the Pittsburgh Steelers are 11-2 right now? Look at Antonio Brown's numbers, and you tell me why they're winning games. If you watched the game last night against the Ravens, when they needed to play in crucial situations, who did they throw the football to? Your best have to play their best at the most critical times for you to win games. Your best can't make plays if you don't get them the football. Now, I don't know who's to blame for that and why Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard are getting more targets than Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson combined. Don't ask me. I don't know. All I know is that I'm seeing a lot more of 80 and 12 than I am of 11 and 13. That's a problem. A big one. In any event, I knew we were going to see more of Peyton Barber this game. I had a discussion with my man Reed. He was upset because Doug Martin was going to get the start. I said, that's fine. We're going to see more of Peyton. And maybe the only reason we saw a lot of Peyton Barber is because of the fumble by Doug Martin. That's probably true. Nonetheless, he got in the game. I thought he played well when he got an opportunity. I expect to see more of Peyton Barber next week. We'll see what happens. But in any event, this defense has been terrible all season long. Again, don't ask me why. And I talked to my man Reed, and he tells me, it's Mike Smith, it's Mike Smith, it's Mike Smith. He has to go. Whatever. Brent Grimes is still playing ball at a very high level. All right. Gerald McCoy left the game, and they fear he's torn his pec muscle again for the 3rd time in his career. That's a problem. Don't know the validity of that. I don't know how true it is. We're going to find out probably today. If they've already had their press conference, then we'll probably already know the extent of his injury. And if he did tear his pec, damn, That's a shame. It's more off-season rehab for Gerald McCoy. In any event, this defense is not good. I talked about the biggest issue of this defense earlier in the season, lack of pressure on the quarterback. We saw it again in this game. And now, all of a sudden, your linebackers, who are solid, haven't been great this season. And we expect greatness from these linebackers. They haven't been great this season. So you look around, and all of a sudden, this is not the same Bucs defense we saw last year that really helped this team get to 9-7. I can't tell you what the problem is. They weren't getting great pass rush last year. Linebackers were playing much better football, granted. But in any event, they lose again. All they needed was a stop. Look, turnovers aside, whether you had 4 or 5 of them in this game, I can't remember. But turnovers aside, you found a way to climb back into this game and tie it up at 21. All you needed was a stop. You had all the momentum on offense. All your defense had to do with 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes left in the game was come out and get a stop. You let the Lions run off 3 minutes of the clock, then punt it back to you with 4 minutes. All you had to do was get in the field goal range. You failed to do so. Okay, get one more stop. Get one more stop. Nope, can't do it. Give up the field goal, lose the game. Shame. But can't say that I'm surprised. Bucs lose the game. They're now 4-9 on the season. Lions get the win, an important win. They're 7-6, and they remain in the hunt in the NFC playoff picture for one of those wild card spots. Wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination by either team, but a win's a win's a win in the National Football League. And the Lions will take it anyway they can get it. Let's get to any comments that may be out there. Matthew Lynch says, do you think the Stafford contract was worth it? Yes, because in this league, whether you think your quarterback is worth it or not, if he's a franchise guy, you have to pay him. Don't be like the Redskins. Be dummies and allow your merchandise to hit the street where you won't get it back at a reasonable cost. That deal, while it's the freshest, the brand newest, and the most expensive right now, in 3 years from now, will be one of the cheapest out on the market, and you'll have your quarterback locked up for another 3 or 4 years. Meanwhile, the Redskins will be somewhere stumbling around the quarterback wilderness again because they thought it was smart to not pay their franchise quarterback. It's just the going rate. If you've got a franchise quarterback, you have to pay him like one, okay? Whether you think he's worth it or not, you got to pay him. Because if you don't, somebody else will. So was the Stafford contract worth it? You're damn right, every single penny of it. Because now the Lions don't have to worry about looking for a quarterback. They just got to fill in all the other blanks. And that's the way you want it in this league. Don't want to worry about the most important position. When I have that settled, I worry about all the other positions. Let me do that. Let me get my GM to figure out how to get pass rush on the team. Let me let my GM figure out how to get us a quality tight end or offensive line help. We'll let him figure all that stuff out. I just want to make sure the quarterback position is settled, and it is. Eduardo O'Neill says, going into this game, I really wanted the Lions to lose so they could go 6-10 and get rid of Caldwell because he's too conservative, and all of us Lion fans want him gone. I like Jim Caldwell. Yeah, he may be conservative, but I say the same thing about him as I say about Marvin Lewis. What were you before he got there? What were you winning before Jim Caldwell got there? What were you doing? I don't recall you winning before he got there. I don't. Yeah, one season in 2011 where you won 10 games and you lost to the Saints in the first round of the playoffs. Other than that, or was it the Cowboys? No, the Cowboys was 2014. Yeah, other than 2011, what have you done? I like Caldwell. You may be conservative, but it is what it is. He's a good coach. But, hey, if you want him gone, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. And then we're going to see what you do after he's gone. We're going to see. Because if you make a wrong move after that, then you're going to be back saying, damn, we suck. Oh, no, we suck again. And you have nobody to blame but yourself and the rest of the fans that wanted him out. The Giants wanted they wanted Tom Coughlin gone. How'd that work out for him? Right. Be careful. Be careful. FBG Tony says, what will the Skins have to pay Kirk? I think it will be 5 years, $140 million, $100 million guaranteed. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. Kevin says, trusted Jameis to win at home. I did too. I didn't expect 4 or 5 turnovers. And I said, Matthew Stafford's banged up. Just take advantage. He turned it over. They didn't take advantage. They turned it over themselves. There was one sequence in this game where I want to say the Bucs turned it over. They fumbled. And then on the next play, Stafford threw a pick. Or it might have been the other way around. The Lions fumbled. And then on the next play, Jameis throws a pick. Either way, I said, oh, man, this game is hilarious. John Perez says, haven't watched the Bucs that much. What's wrong with Deshaun Jackson? He's not getting rocked. Simple as that. And when he's open, Jameis is overshooting him by 3 or 4 yards. He's winning on the deep ball. Jameis just hasn't been able to connect with him all season long. So there's that too. But in any event, Lions get the win. 24-21 over the Bucs, get to 7-6, and give themselves a chance to fight for that final wild card in the NFC. Meanwhile, the Bucs continue to lose games, and it's not looking too good for Dirk Cutter as they drop to 4-9 with the latest loss to the Lions at home. It's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown coverage. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I got plenty more Lockdown coverage to come, man. Covering this league like a blanket, so don't you go anywhere. Get cozy and comfortable under this blanket that I'm serving up for you, man. More NFL coverage from Week 14 in the National Football League. We call it Lockdown coverage here on the Louie T Network. So don't you go anywhere. I'll be right back. Seriously, don't go nowhere.